The 3-4 nose tackle, it's the most selfless position in the NFL today. They sacrifice themselves for the greater good of the defense, bearing the brunt of the battering rams that are guards and centers in an effort to free up space and lanes of pursuit for his linebackers. It's a position that gets taken for granted. They don't have the eye-popping stats that everybody else in the defense does. You're not going to see a lot of tackles from a good nose tackle. And if that nose tackle can collapse the pocket and can get to the quarterback, well, that's a huge cherry on top of that sundae. The origination of pot roast, Terrence Knighton, the number one guy on this list, isn't as awesome as the nickname itself. All Knighton did was raise his hand on a flight home from Seattle during his rookie year in Jacksonville. A flight attendant was walking down the aisle with a plate of pot roast. It was the first time he had ever tried it. A teammate laughed because Knighton acted like, it was his name when she asked, who ordered pot roast, and the moniker stuck. So that's it. That's the story. And the Temple product has only eaten pot roast twice in his life. He didn't get the lucrative contract he was seeking during the offseason and settled for a one-year deal in Washington. So he'll surely be playing with a huge chip in his stomach. At 6'3", 330, Knighton has that prototypical build for a nose tackle, and when he gets low, he's nearly unblockable. He gets pushed and is a huge force in the backfield and has such strength that if he gets his arm on you, he's going to bring you down. He can make tackles not only in space but in a crowd as well. The only time he shows weakness is when he's tired. But what do you expect from a 6'3", 330-pound guy? But when he gets tired, that's when he doesn't get as low, and he's a lot easier to block. Dontari Poe is number 2 on my list, and at the start of his season is in doubt after having surgery on a herniated disc. At 6'3", 346, Poe's athleticism is extraordinary for a man his size. Posted 6 sacks a year ago, 10.5 over his last 2. That's exceptional for a nose tackle. It's due to his closing speed. Men of that size are just not supposed to move the way he does. And to go with his unique athleticism is his ox-like strength. He can shed blocks, get beyond the line of scrimmage. He can anchor and hold down the fort against multiple blockers. As great as the numbers looked last season with his 6 sacks, though, I still thought Poe had a bit of a down year and wasn't as dominant as he was in 2013. But still a very, very good football player and number 2 on this list. The third member of the New York Jets' scary defensive line alongside Muhammad Wilkerson and Sheldon Richardson is Damon Harrison, who is number 3 on this list. He's become an upper echelon nose tackle despite being undrafted in 2012. 6'4", 350. That is a mammoth man. He's ridiculously strong to go along with very long arms, and it helps him keep blockers off him. He disrupts the line of scrimmage, clogs the middle. He's simply immovable. He may not have tallied any sacks last season, but he can collapse the pocket using a bull rush to create opportunities for his teammates. The emerging Brandon Williams checks in at number 4. I feel like I've said this in every video I've done, these ranking videos, but Ozzie Newsome did it again. He found himself a gem out of Missouri Southern State in the third round of the 2013 draft. Really struggled with that sentence there. Shot up the draft boards that year, had a very, very impressive combine. He's become the nose tackle that many Ravens fans hoped Terrence Cody would develop into. He's strong like the Incredible Hulk and plays very low to the ground. He uses that power to push linemen back not only in the run game but as a pass rusher too, forcing pressure to allow his teammates to get sacks. Vince Wilfork is number 5. The Patriots released him. They released Wilfork, who spent his first 11 years in New England back in March. And one of the main reasons why he's now in Houston is his daughter, Destiny. She really, really, really wanted to meet J.J. Watt. Well, she got her wish last weekend. The other reason why he's with the Texans, he gets to reunite with one of his former defensive coordinators, Romeo Crennel. Wilfork is 33 now, clearly not in the prime of his career anymore, but he's still effective out on the field. He can still occupy double teams, disrupt the offense, and being part of the winning culture in Foxborough, Wilfork will provide some leadership to a somewhat young Texans locker room. Steve McClendon is number 6 on my list. The successor to Casey Hampton is stout against the run like his predecessor, although he doesn't handle the double team quite as adeptly as Hampton once did. My number 7 nose tackle, B.J. Raji, is attempting to come back from a season-ending biceps injury during last year's training camp. Raji has been a pretty big disappointment after breaking out during Green Bay's Super Bowl run in 2010. Benny Logan is number 8, and out of all the guys on the Eagles' underrated front 7, Logan gets the least attention, like Cedric Thornton and Fletcher Cox, who surround him on the defensive line. He's very, very good against the run. Very powerful. I've got rookie Danny Shelton at number 9. His selection in the first round was a no-brainer for Cleveland, which ranked dead last in rushing defense a year ago. The 6'2", 340-pounder played in a 3-4 at Washington last season and was, probably one of the most ready-to-play prospects in the draft. He's a rookie Defensive Player of the Year candidate, so watch out for him. Glenn Dorsey is number 9 on this list. He's attempting to return from a torn biceps injury that cost him all of the 2014 season. He's also expected to see some time at 3-4 defensive end with the retirement of Justin Smith, and may see a lot of time there depending on the early stage development of first-round draft choice Eric Armstead. The former first-round underachiever of the Chiefs, Dorsey filled in for Ian Williams at nose tackle back in 2013, played really, really well. It might have been the best season he had as a pro since being taken 5th overall in the 2008 draft. And speaking of Williams, he's at number 11. He's battled injuries basically his entire career, including last year when he suffered a season-ending fractured fibula in Week 10. This was on the heels of a broken ankle in Week 2 of the 2013 campaign. But when he is on the field, he's very effective. All right, I guess I'll just kind of run down the rest of these names since I only ranked 25 nose tackles. So I've got Phil Taylor at number 12, Broderick Bunkley, number 13, LaTroy Guion, 14th, Sean Lissamore, 15th, Josh Chapman, 16th, Marvin Austin, 17th, Corey Peters, 18th, Bo Allen, 19th, Eddie Goldman, 20th, Sylvester Williams, 21st, Alameda Ta'amu, 22nd, Mitch Unrein, 23rd, John Jenkins, 24th, and Chris Baker, 25th. Taylor, I'm going to say, is by far the most disappointing player on this list because he showed so much promise as a rookie. He's been limited to injuries in 2 of the last 3 years, but he's just yet to return to that level that he had in his debut season. Guion did a phenomenal job stepping in for Raji last season, but it shouldn't have been a surprise. I mean, he's always been a solid player, even going back to his Vikings days. I know Allen is ranked 19th, but he's a name to watch out for in the future. He's a backup in Philly, but I didn't see one offensive lineman push him back all last season. So very, very strong at the point of attack. So, all right, that's it for this video. Probably shorter than all the other ones I'm going to do. The good old nose tackle. So it's not a very sexy position, but it's a very important one. So that's it for this one. Again, make sure you follow us on Twitter at TheBitterBirds. I'm out of here. Later. Take care.